6.1 brought with it a bunch of buffs, nerfs, and gameplay changes across many jobs. While most of those buffs were welcomed, such as Living Dead not falling off when cleansed, giving the Dark Knight the ability to self-heal themselves, or White Mage's Afflatus Misery being a DPS neutral and giving you a lily every 20 seconds instead of 30 really helps now that it isn't needed for weaving. And then there is Samurai. While Autocrit Madari and Oginama Kiri make Samurai more consistent, it no longer gains any benefit from crit buffs like Chain Stratagem, which is anti-synergistic, that really only matters for the highest level of play. However, Kaiten was removed, and basically no one is happy about that one. And the worst part is, it's so obvious they aren't being honest about why. Samurai has a lot of buttons that we can all agree on, especially for controller. Look at this mess of a hotbar, even after 6.1. But there's a lot of excess that can be changed. The most common options have Iki Shoten turn into Oginama Kiri, similarly to how Oginama Kiri already turns into Kaishi. Shoha could just upgrade to Shoha 2, and Hisatsu Gurn could just get a potency upgrade trait to be as strong as Sene on one target. Other jobs also have things that turn into other things. Ninja's Bunshin becomes Phantom Kamitachi, or Gunbreaker's Gnashing Tank combo got turned into one button, down from the 3 that it was in Shadowbringers. Though this might have been a mistranslation, and they meant button bloat in another way. It might have been alluding to the job's actions per minute. If the problem with Samurai Burst had too much APM, that is also a bad reason, but it has some possible changes. For instance, Mekia could apply Kaiten to your next X amount of Iejutsus. Also could make Shinten or Kaiten just cost more gauge so that during your burst you get less weaves due to the higher gauge cost. Obviously, numbers would change to compensate for this. Now that we've gone over if Kaiten gives Samurai one too many buttons, or makes them push buttons too fast, we have to discuss why this is such a hot button topic. People pick up what job they play or don't play based on their job identity, or the core job feel. Ninja with their mudras, White Mage with their raw peer healing, Warriors with their Unga Bunga, or Samurai preparing for the Iejutsu with a Kaiten. Another reason people might pick up a job is because of how simple or complex it is, or the way the rotation plays. Someone might pick up a job based on how busy its burst is and enjoy having a lot of micro, whereas someone else might enjoy a less busy job. The point is that not every job appeals to every player due to any number of reasons, and that is a good thing as it keeps all the jobs unique, even if they function the same. Much like how Requiescat and Inner Release work very similarly, but the aesthetic makes it appeal to different people. Changing something about a job that is core to its identity is going to alienate the people who currently play the job, and you might not even make it more appealing to everyone else. We sort of saw this with Summoner, where a lot of old Summoner players gave up the job with the rework in Endwalker. While it does play a lot more like an actual Summoner now, Summoner was the dot mage, and now it's nothing of the sort. High button count doesn't equate to complexity by itself. Reaper has a lot of offensive actions as well, but having key abilities transform with you when you enter Enshroud keeps the button count low without making the job any simpler. Almost every Samurai ability has its own button, so hotbars get unwieldy for no reason. Some of these buttons will never be used in raid settings, so there's almost never any choice on if you press Shoha or Shoha 2. It's just a raid versus dungeon difference. This makes you constantly edit your hotbar depending on the setting, or play against muscle memory. On the opposite end, though, you can go the Summoner route, which has about as many offensive buttons as tanks, but nothing else around that to get, making the job really easy to pick up, but not much in the way of a skill ceiling. Going forward, I worry that the team will continue lowering the skill ceiling for jobs, instead of raising both the floor and ceiling, because I know that they won't make the fights any more demanding to account for the job changes. So what do you think? Is the game trending towards simplicity, or is this one of those buttons that needed to be deleted? Let me know in the comments.